Dear white Democrats, instead of lecturing us about identity politics, instead of lecturing us about the need to listen to white working class voters, that's what you want to say. You say working class, but you want to say white working class voters. Instead of lecturing us about these things, how about you take this Thanksgiving? Or take the whole damn holiday season and talk to your own damn kinfolks. Talk to them and find out for us why they've been voting against their own damn interests since the 1960s. I know already. But make them tell you to your face. Because then maybe we won't have to listen to James Carville up here with his bullshit. Now, some of y'all might say, first, why you coming in so hot? What the hell happened? What going on, man? Shit. I'm about to tell you, goddammit. I'm about to tell you. But before I do, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I am your homeboy first, and this is the realest, most entertaining show in the game. Put it on something. Again, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that share button, put all your people on it. Make sure you hit that notification button as well so you won't miss out on any of this real shit. Okay. But I want to share something with y'all, man, because I'm fed up. I'm fed up. Because it's one thing to lose this damn election to a motherfucker who a 34-time felon, a motherfucker who openly racist hell. There's some bitch saying immigrants poisoning the blood of the country. Have a motherfucker on stage at his damn rally talking about Puerto Rico floating piece of trash. Have a motherfucker up here saying that this highly educated, highly successful black woman is a low IQ person. That bitch, Donald Trump. To have him win the election is bad enough. But then to have our so-called allies get on TV and get on social media and call themselves lecturing all of us about what the Democrats did wrong, particularly what the Democrats did wrong in talking to white working class people. Oh, that shit. That should have made this shit 10 times worse. So I want y'all to listen to James Carville. But before I play his post-election comments for you, I want y'all to see what the motherfucker said before the election. Okay? I want you to take a look at what this motherfucker was on pre-election. Okay? And then you're going to see why he just bullshit all this once you hear his post-election comment. Take a look at that. New York Times now reported that James Carville said 3 reasons, or maybe he wrote this for the New York Times. I don't know. But either way, the motherfucker gave 3 reasons he was certain Kamala Harris would win. And he didn't just put that in the New York Times, or New York Times just didn't report on that. He was going around talking about it. Hell, I saw this segment on MSNBC. This is a screenshot from the damn segment when he was on there. Okay? So that's what the type of shit he was on pre-election. Now let me show y'all what this sumbitch been on post-election. And you're going to clearly see, oh, this man ain't nothing but a goddamn bullshit order. Again, this is James Carville, legendary Democratic strategist. This the motherfucker that helped Bill Clinton win back in the 90s. Check him out.
We have no legislative power. We have no executive power. We have no judicial power. So when you're out of power, you're an opposition party. And go and tell all of the people that are sending you and asking you for money, justify what you did, justify what you did wrong, and tell us what you're going to do different. Because what you've done ain't worth a shit. Get your head around that. In all of the Washington-based Democrats farting around, going to wine and cheese parties and talking about how misogynistic race comes, get your ass out of Washington and go work on a 2026 campaign and do penance to make up for your goddamn arrogance and stupidity. Well, we're going to say, we told you so. We told you this identity shit was disaster. We told you to get out in front of public safety issues. You didn't. We told you to have an open process and demonstrate the magnificent and staggering and deep talent that exists in the modern Democratic Party. You didn't. We told you to differentiate yourself from Biden. You didn't. I hate to be some fucking know-it-all, but all of these things are part of the record.
So now, since Kamala Harris lost, the motherfucker want to act like I told you so. When I just showed you, hold on, let me show you again. I just showed you that before the election, he was sure, he was certain that she was going to win. Now, post-election, he up here, oh, I told y'all. I told y'all this identity shit was a disaster. What the fuck you mean by identity shit, dog? What you mean by that? That the deals were by Joe Biden making Kamala Harris his vice president. And then once he dropped out, blessing her to go ahead and campaign in his place. That was identity shit. By getting behind the most loyal voting bloc for the Democratic Party, black women, that was identity shit. That's what you won't say. Do you want to have an open process to show the staggering and deep talent of the Democrats? Code word, I told y'all that we didn't need to let Kamala Harris be the nominee. Differentiate yourself from Biden. Code word, no Kamala Harris. That's his vice president. Basically, you want to say I told y'all not to make Kamala Harris the nominee. But before the election, you said the woman would win. See, this is the motherfucker who famously said it's the economy stupid. Okay? That when it comes down to it, the voters gonna vote based on the economy. When I hear these motherfuckers saying this shit, you know what I hearken back to? I hearken back to these Confederate sympathizers who say, oh, the Civil War had nothing to do with slavery. It wasn't about that. It was about economics. It was about states' rights. States' rights to do what, motherfucker? What was driving the economy of the South, motherfucker? So miss me with that shit, man. Miss me with it, James Carville. Miss me with it. Talking that bullshit. Talking that bullshit. Ask your kinfolk. Hell, ask the Republican you're married to. Ask her. Shit. You sleep with one of them. Why she vote against herself? Why? Most liberals are Democrats. Okay? Most liberals are Democrats. And your damn wife having the right to vote is a liberal idea. Liberals push that shit, not conservatives. Women having an equal stake in the political process is a liberal concept. That was not the conservative viewpoint. When this country was founded, women were not allowed to vote. So if we're going to go back to what the founding fathers wanted, they wanted Joe, white woman, not to vote. They wanted my ass to be enslaved. Shit. So ask your woman, why does she vote against herself? Ask your kinfolk, why they vote against a party whose president created Medicaid. Lyndon Baines Johnson, Democrat. And that part, the Democratic Party continuously tries to protect that program. And you from Louisiana, you probably know some white folks that's on that shit. Oh, I saw some brother online say white folk were coming at him left and right, calling him the N-word, all kind of shit, because he pointed out that, you know, there are more white people on Medicaid than black people. Shit, we only make up 12, 13% of the country. Most of this country is not us, people. It's not. I ain't close. But I just saw some online that a statistician posted that speaks to how motherfuckers really don't know what the game is. Okay. Said Americans overestimate the size of minority groups and underestimate the size of most majority groups. Okay. This is what it says. The estimated proportion based on what motherfuckers think, based on what the American people think now, okay? The American people think that 41% of this country is black. When in actuality, we make up just 12 to 13% of this damn country. Don't let the NBA, NFL, and rap music fool you motherfuckers. It ain't that many of us. We just legendary that such a minority of this country has had such a huge impact on this motherfucker. That's just legendary. But it ain't a lot of us in this bitch, comparatively speaking. It's not. So just based on raw numbers, there are more white people on Medicaid, Medicare, Social Security, the Affordable Care Act than black people. Obamacare just wasn't no shit for black people. I get my insurance through the marketplace as an entrepreneur. But I'm sure there's plenty of white entrepreneurs out here who get their fucking insurance through the marketplace. Motherfuckers who are happy that insurance companies can't deny them because of pre-existing conditions anymore. Motherfuckers that stay on their parents' insurance 9 till they 26, something like that. A lot of white people who benefited from Medicaid expansion under Obamacare, but still voted for Donald Trump. James Carville, you gotta ask your folk why they do that. Why they keep doing that? Quit lecturing us and go talk to them and convince them to stop doing that bullshit. You a Democrat, so you must know better. Okay, you didn't vote that way, but your kinfolk doing it. Go talk to them. You gonna lecture us about this identity shit? Like the Republicans ain't been doing identity shit. What the fuck was the Southern strategy other than identity shit? They saw pissed off white people who were pissed off because of the Civil Rights Act of 1964. That's what they saw. And they say, here's a chance here. Here's a chance. We can do something with this. And they switch parties, particularly in the South. And the Democrats ain't won the white vote since. You gotta talk to them about that, James. You gotta talk to them and get them to explain to you. I already know why, but you acting like you don't goddamn know why. Get them to explain to you why the fuck they went for voting like this. This is the Electoral College map, y'all, from 1932. Franklin Roosevelt's first election. Okay, look at that shit. And you talking about making the government big? These motherfuckers anti-federal government and all that kind of shit. You talking about motherfuckers that expanded the power of the presidency shit. I don't know if anybody did it more than FDR. And look how these motherfuckers voted. Well, you might say, well, first, that was his first election. Maybe they got hip to his New Deal shit and all them damn government program. Maybe they said, fuck that bullshit. Hell, he won most states. They said, give me more of that. Bullshit. Bullshit. Oh, he said, fuck tradition. I'm gonna keep running. Wasn't no 22nd Amendment to stop him from running more than 2 times, serving more than 8 years. So he kept going. I said, fuck that shit. I'm going again, goddamn. Still getting that white vote, ain't it? Making government bigger than a motherfucker. Look at that, 44. Motherfucker won 4 times. Fuck we talking about? But how was he able to do that? Because he was cutting deals with the Dixiecrats. He was cutting deals with the racists. So he didn't use his bullet pulpit, his power, his influence to push no anti-lynching bill or no significant civil rights legislation. So the white vote stayed with his ass. But oh, look at 1948. Cracks. When his successor, Harry S. Truman, ran for office on his own. Now, he took office in 45 after FDR died, okay? But then he ran for his own shit. He ran on his own accord in 48. And you see some cracks in the armor. Why? Because this motherfucker desegregated the military. And Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, South Carolina said, fuck that. We gonna vote for the states' rights party, the Dixiecrat party, Strom Thurmond talking about some segregation forever shit. Cracks in the armor. But then they came back to the Democrats with old Ike, Dwight Eisenhower. I'm talking about the Southern whites now. There you go, 56. That's 60. I'm sorry. 56, that's Eisenhower again. 60. That's Kennedy. But then old 64. Ooh, what happened? That motherfucker was blue down south like a motherfucker. I ain't go back further. You still go. Just watch that south. Y'all see that south? It was blue even before FDR. What happened? What changed? Did the Dems suddenly not know how to talk to the voters in the South? Did they somehow not listen to the white working class in the South? How did they lose white people? Huh? What happened? Civil rights happened. Civil rights happened, Jay. Now in 76, at least in the South, looked like they came back a little bit because but that was because Jimmy Carter was from the South. Okay? Jimmy Carter from the South. But I guess they found out Jimmy Carter didn't share their views, and then shit. Look at that. Also, there was inflation. Okay, you did have a gas crisis then. Okay. The economy during that time was in worse shape than what the fuck we dealing with now. But what they do, they turn to Ronald Reagan, tax cuts and shit. But they also turned to Ronald Reagan because he was doing it. Wink, wink. Came, announced his campaign and shit. Came down to old Neshoba County, very close to where them 3 civil rights workers got murdered. Wink, wink. Like that shit. They like that shit. And then old running. And then there you go. James. You got Bill up in there, but y'all didn't win the white vote. James. You were running the campaign, James. Why couldn't you get old Billy from Arkansas? Why couldn't you get him to win the white vote? Huh? Why couldn't you? Obviously, you know how to talk to him, right? And if you don't like this identity shit, why were you having Bill Clinton ass go on down? Arsenio. I'm about to say Denzel. Shout out to Denzel. You know, to my aim sing Gladiator yet, but I know that motherfucker killed it. But I digress. Yeah, that motherfucker on Arsenio playing the goddamn saxophone. Or maybe you don't want the black person on the ticket. You want the candidates to be white and just pander to the blacks by going on shit like that and playing the saxophone. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe that's what you want, James. Huh? Okay. I get it, Jimmy. I get it. I'm with you. It makes sense to me now. I'm with you. I know what you're on. That's really what you're on, baby. All right, there you go at 96. Okay. Oh, the man from Hope was able to get Arkansas again and got Louisiana. Okay, your home state. Okay. All right, got Tennessee. You know, Al Gore's from Tennessee. He was able to get some of the South. He's a Southern boy. Okay. Bill Clinton, the man from Hope. He talked their language. Okay. That fuck shit he was on up in the White House, getting his dick sucked like that, putting that scandal out there, gave Republicans enough room that they needed to let George W. Bush win the motherfucking election and the bullshit that went on in Florida in 2000. But still, the whole time, I can keep going. 2004, white folks still voting how they vote. President Obama following up George W. Bush's disastrous presidency. Got the Great Recession and shit like that. The motherfucker come in with the Affordable Care Act, stimulus package, all that kind of shit. Still, the motherfucker call him the Antichrist. Call this man a motherfucking Antichrist. He saved the American economy. Him along with congressional Democrats saved the goddamn American economy. And they called this man the Antichrist. They said this motherfucker was not born here, that he was ineligible to be president. They called his wife a man. They called his daughter sluts. But you think we don't know how to talk to these people. We're the problem. Despite all that, he won again in 2012. In part because the shit came out with Mitt Romney, see, with that 47% come in, that 47% motherfuckers just want handouts. They got offended by that because he said, oh, he ain't just talking about the black, he's talking about us too. And we follow up the presidency of one of the greatest presidents in history. And that ain't just me talking. Historians be having Obama routinely in the top 10 with this motherfucker. I'm sure you were giving some advice to Hillary's campaign. Did you not know how to talk to him, James? Did you not tell her how to talk to the working class whites? Fuck we talking about, man. Who was talking to Joe Biden in 2020 then? Whatever he did work then. Or was it because he's an old white man and America is comfortable with old white men? Is that what it is? I think that's what it is, Jimmy. I think that's what it is, Jimmy. I think having a black woman at the top of the ticket, Jimmy, is something that working class whites said, fuck that. She doesn't match my identity in any way. At least Obama was half white and raised by his white mother and his white grandparents. At least he can say that his white granddad fought in World War II, and I can pull up a picture of him and his white grandparents and his white mama, and I can identify with at least half of his ass. But this black woman here, she black and Indian. I can't identify with none of her. And she's a woman. James, you gotta talk to your folk, man. See why they have a problem with that. And have had a problem with the Democratic Party in general, because they've been saying no to white men. They said no to the Democratic candidate. The Democrats have not won the white vote since 64. So in 68, 72, 76, 80, 84, 88, 92, 96, 2000, 04, 08, 12, 16, 20, and goddamn it now. You want to blame it on identity politics instead of saying these motherfuckers are racist and sexist. The fuck out of here, Jimmy. The fuck out of here. You need to listen to this lady right here. This is who the fuck you need to listen to. Motherfuckers like James Carville. Need to listen to this one. This is a white woman. This is a white Democrat that got her mind right. Cause these motherfuckers try to act like Kamala Harris wasn't talking about the economy at all. Take a listen to what the woman said.
She was offering us money. She was literally offering us money, okay? And instead, we picked a guy who is not going to give the middle class one red cent. We could have had $25,000 house credit, $6,000 child tax credit per child, $50,000 small business startups. We could have had student loan forgiveness. We could have had the government negotiating with Medicare to get pharmaceutical prices down. But instead, you chose against all of that. Trump's new cabinet is going to be filled with criminals and compromised loyalists, and the one thing he is not worried about at all is lowering the price of groceries. There are articles like this every single day stating that people who voted for Trump are expecting him to send out stimulus checks or to somehow help their financial situation. Let me tell you a little secret, bro. That shit ain't happening. Anyone who voted for him sacrificed our entire country in the hopes of getting some more money. And that's the one thing you're not gonna get.
I have no idea who that sister is. But she got more damn sense than James Carville ass. Now, he supposed to be the legendary Democratic strategist. Sit your ass down somewhere. Sit your ass down, James. You're talking that bullshit. And Nick Queen didn't even mention the shit about Medicare that she was trying to get Medicare to pay for caregiving. She ain't mentioned that. She ain't mentioned that Kamala Harris talked about trying to go after these goddamn price gougers. She ain't even mentioned it. She ain't mentioned it. Kamala did, though, during the campaign. And these folks said no. We'll go with the felon. We'll go with the motherfucker that been found liable for rape. We'll go with that. He's our guy. Fuck out of here, man. Fuck out of here, bro. Sick of y'all. So check your sales, dog. Check your sales now. And check your folk. You got Thanksgiving. Got Christmas parties and shit. I pour y'all a good one. And you sit down and try to explain to them that they need to stop voting against themselves. Stop voting against their own damn interests. Motherfuckers calling Joe Biden the most pro-union president in modern history, at least, if not all history. That's what they're saying about him. I don't know about all. No, FDR was on some pro-union shit, wagging the act. But the motherfucker went out there on a picket line as the president of the United States. And this woman was like, I'm going to carry on that kind of shit. And you got white union voters saying, fuck you, we going with Trump. Fuck we supposed to do about that, James? Fuck we supposed to do about that, James? You got the motherfucker who appointed the 3 judges who really set the stage for Roe v. Wade to be overturned. They vote for that motherfucker, but when they having these votes within the states, they saying, no, we actually want the right to abortion. Okay, so why the fuck you down with the dude who allowed some of these states to be banning this shit? Why you down with him then? Who's a flaming hypocrite on the topic, and that motherfucker who would fuck a porn star raw while his wife is pregnant. I know he can pay for some abortions. And some of the white women in your family, James Carville, voted for that motherfucker. You gotta talk to them. You gonna talk to them. Shit. And tell them to get their motherfucking mind right. Hell. You ran Bill Clinton's campaign in the 90s. You from the South. He from the South. Y'all still couldn't get white folk. The majority of white folk to vote for his motherfucking ass. And you lecturing us about some identity politics and all this shit. Get the fuck out of here, dog. In the year 2024, get the fuck out of here, dog. I'm not trying to hear that bullshit. So check yourselves and check your kinfolk. And to all my real white allies out there, I fuck with you. I fuck with you. Matter of fact, hit me up on one of my socials. Hit me up on one of my socials. I want to network with you, okay? Because we got some work to do. Put it on something.